Getting going a little late today. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. Hopkins officially released. Breece Hall news. We're talking about all that and more. The Fantasy Football Show news edition, phone call edition begins right now. File on in.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and today we have a little bit of news to go over, and then we're going to get to a bunch of phone calls and take your questions. Sorry I'm late today. I had a couple things I had to get done in the back end of the show, but I appreciate you always waiting for me, always hanging out. We don't always go live right on time, you know that, but we are here. We're doing it live, and I appreciate all of you being here. File on in. First in the building today was Blackbeard, followed by Lunchbox, followed by Thomas, followed by Very Blessed Indeed, Sandu, OEG, Travis Rowe, Matt Clamp, Nathan, Joe, Melvin. Appreciate you guys all being here. DeAndre Hopkins officially released. This is something we had talked about last night. We talked about over the weekend. Kind of weird that the entire fantasy football, like, big boy news community, led by Shefty and Rappaport and the fellas and Field Yates, didn't report on this until later, that Hopkins was not actually released over the weekend. It was weird that did not come out until like late yesterday. And so we had a conversation last night about, well, what happens if the Cardinals pull back their plans to release him, because they could, technically speaking, they could have rescinded that potential situation and tried to trade him if the trade interest had kicked into gear. It didn't. It could have. It didn't. We said last night, most likely he probably will still get cut, and he has been officially released, and now he can sign wherever he wants to sign. And there's some other reports that kind of surfaced today that I think we can go over. But the thing that we always talk about this, there are a bunch of beat reporters that will just write an opinion piece, and because they're with a big established paper or magazine or whatever outlet, it gets talked about and then gets recycled, and then gets like 3 or 4 different degrees of separation, and people start writing about as if this is a done deal, or this opinion has been conveyed by the team, and sometimes that's not the case. So I just want to preface that before we get into Atlantic reports and different things I always think are very speculative. But Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer writes interest in DeAndre Hopkins is very tepid from teams, and that he may have to choose between taking the bag and chasing a ring, meaning the market isn't quite as good as we thought it would be, which is weird to me, because Hopkins still has easily 1 year left of being, I think, and not just a good football player, but an elite fantasy football player, and more importantly, because these teams don't care about fantasy, the same parallel, an elite NFL player. They go hand in hand, essentially. You can't have one really without the other. And so I find it hard to believe that this report holds a lot of water. I think that people are going to buy into some of these opinion pieces. Who's saying this, though? You know what I mean? Like going back to the Sports Illustrated report, Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer writes, interest in Hopkins is very tepid. Like, what's he sourcing there? And this is part of NBC Sports' responsibility to tell us, who is at the front of that piece of news. Like, what's triggering Breer to say that? Does Breer have any sources? Does Breer and that's, I guess, my responsibility to dig in deeper to that. But we're not going to roll through those kind of details when we're blasting through this news. All I can tell you is from what I've gathered quickly, I don't see any evidence that this is a widespread tepid situation for teams that are looking at him. In my opinion, because I haven't found anything to support this, I think there are 2 or 3 teams that are just playing coy while he gets officially released. I mean, maybe that's what's going on here, Sports Illustrated. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins wasn't officially cut until just a little while ago. Now that he's been cut a few hours, maybe this tepid, standoffish might just be the teams couldn't do anything officially, bro. You know, like I don't buy it at all. I don't buy it, and I don't even need to look into it. You know, I can tell by my experience over the 20 years of covering this professionally that the interest isn't tepid. The interest is very, very deep. The interest is very, very solid. And Hopkins can go wherever he wants. And Hopkins is going to have choices over choices over choices. We know Bill Belichick loves him. We know that he loves Bill Belichick. And if things broke down, let's say, and things were tepid everywhere, guess what? Hopkins is going over to Bill's house. And Bill would take him in a heartbeat because Bill loves this kid. He absolutely loves him. So I hope that doesn't happen. This is where wide receivers go to die in New England. I'm sorry, my New England Patriot fans out there, but we don't want him in New England. Who's throwing him the football in New England? He's almost better off in Arizona than he is in New England. No offense. Maybe he's better off in New England. Okay, let's be honest. I mean, Kyler's not coming back till maybe never. I don't know. Maybe we're going for Caleb. I don't know. Cardinals are probably going to lose. Maybe let's say win 3-4 games at best. Given the way things are looking right now in Arizona. But I would definitely say that in general, this is not a tepid situation for Kyler Murray. Let me get my iPad fired up so I can get all of you fine people. Let's see here. Celebrate. Let's see. Salty Chopper dropping a super chat. Thomas dropping a super chat. I have my iPad with me right now so I can view a lot of these other, YouTube exclusive things that happen that I haven't, been as on top of. And I told you guys I would be more on top of, like celebration of how many months you've been a YouTube exclusive member. Some are YouTube exclusive member chat messages that I don't quite see in my system. I got it all up right now. And let's get those super chats up on screen right now. And let's cover these first two. Thomas dropping a $2 hauler. Salty Chopper dropping a $10. All $10 haulers get a moonshot
to the moon.
Salty. Appreciate you, Salty, my guy. Thomas says, makes my work day all better. Let's go. Thomas is glad to be here. 35 of you are glad to be here. We got 115 of you in here, and only 35 of you have punched that thumb up button. Looks like we need to do a little work there. Those are rookie numbers. Punch it, hit it. $10 hauler, first super chat. Let's get it. Love the show, Smitty. Best in the game. Salty, that's a $10 hauler. $10 haulers get moonshots, but you, my man, your first super chat ever, your magnificent super chat ever. What is going on here with this picture? He's got a hog, some dogs. This guy's a man of nature, blending into the environment, dropping a super chat like a ninja, stealth, hiding in the trees. This man, Salty, deserves a standing ovation. Appreciate you, Salty, dropping your first ever super chat. Bella, check yourself, dropping one. Says, Smitty, you're breaking my heart. Oh, you can call in. I'm sorry, Bella, check yourself. Look, if you guys were to have gone and got Lamar, like here's the honest truth, Bella, check yourself. And I think you and I had a conversation about this, if I remember correctly. Thank you, Salty. Appreciate you. I think if you guys had gotten Lamar and then you traded for Hopkins, which Bill loves him. Hopkins would have went even if he got released like this. And excuse me. If Hopkins was released and he would have went to Bill, Hopkins would have went running to Bill if Lamar was the quarterback. But the Patriots didn't act. They didn't put an offer sheet down. They didn't even try to go get Lamar. Michael became a YouTube exclusive member. Michael to the moon. Absolute moonshot. What a magnificent man. I have a feeling a couple others are coming rolling in. Appreciate those renewals. Tyler renewing his YouTube exclusive membership. Bella, there is a time and a place. We got a Pal Derby 10 gifted subs here on the channel. Pal Derby to the moon. Pal, we love you.
To the moon.
Pal. We love you, pal. Pal, you're a good pal, buddy. Good buddy boy. What a dude. What a dude, Pal Derby. Pal Derby is my pal. Officially is my official pal. Thank you for dropping those. Those aren't renewals. Those are all Pal Derby. And by the way, we're probably like 10 more every time Pal Derby and Collusion and East Coast Tatty and Terry and all these guys, they drop these gifted memberships, the $1.99 memberships they're gifting to all of you right now. And yes, you would have to renew it if you want to keep it. You get the green emoji all month. You get all the green name, the emojis. If I think if we get like 20 more or 10 more, we get another emoji that opens up to use a YouTube exclusive emoji. We get a certain number of them unlocked every time we get more of these YouTube exclusive memberships. So Pal Derby's literally giving the show more emojis as we speak. Like, he's such a dude, But Belichick yourself, I'm very, very sorry to break your heart by saying New England's where wide receivers go to die. It's because there's no quarterback. It doesn't mean New England in general is going to be a black hole of a place to go for wide receivers because the quarterback, is a position you just don't have. I mean, I don't believe in Mac Jones, bro. I don't believe in Mac Jones at all. If you want to call in, Belichick yourself, and discuss this, I'd be happy to. I'm not trying to debate you or anything like that. I feel bad for you. I wish there was something that I could do to help you. I wish I could help you right now. I wish I could go back, turn back time, and have Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, who were interested, it seemed, in Lamar based on Kraft's comments saying, well, it's up to Bill. Bill could have went and got Lamar Jackson according to your owner. So why didn't Bill go get Lamar, which would have in turn got you Hopkins? Hopkins could still land in New England. He could still land in New England. I didn't want to see it. I still don't want to see it. I still don't think it's going to happen. But it does feel like maybe it's more possible than I maybe wanted it to be a couple days ago, but still not super, super likely. Russian Collusion gifted 10 exclusive memberships. Russian Collusion gifted 10. Russian, my guy, gifting 10 YouTube exclusive memberships. I got my iPad here. I'm able to see a lot of these gifted membership things a lot sooner now. So apologies. And who is it that called me out on that? Scott, Nick, what was his name? Good job. Russian to the moon. Russian Collusion to the moon. Brucey, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I help you with, buddy boy?
What do we think? Like, these agents, they just said, I was watching McAfee earlier, and Rappaport said they might make all the players have agents now, because D-Hop just signed an agent.
We'll have to see what the NFL can require on that front, and what the NFLPA might want or require on that as well. Brucey, hang tight. We got a Mars man calling in. Mars man, Jack of all trades. This man is a Mars man card holder. There are only 11 in the world, and then 12 including me, but 11 people have immediate phone access when they dial in, and this is Jack of all trades.
We're
Jack,
talking about it right now.
Jack, you're on the phone.
That's fantastic.
What's up, Jack?
I love it.
What do you love?
Hey, I was hearing D-Hop might be going to New England.
Well, I mean, that's who we're talking about, where I don't think he lands there, but it's something that's definitely being kicked around news wires more than it was days ago, but that doesn't make it true. He's certainly, going somewhere. And if, let's say this is true right here, this Albert Breer Sports Illustrated report, that very tepid, like that's the temperature of the team's interest out there, and that he's got to either take a ring and get less money, or go chase a bag somewhere. The thing that doesn't make sense about this report, and it's not that I'm necessarily calling BS on this guy's take, because he's speculating here. It's the way people wrap it up and then re-report it, as if it's some sort of like it's coming from the team. The reason I don't like this take is that nobody's gonna pay him the bag unless they are in contention of winning a ring, or think that they're in contention of winning a ring. Now, Bill Belichick always thinks he's in contention of winning a ring, so Bill and the Patriots would go after him. But if this is if it's very tepid from the Buffalo Bills, from the Eagles, from the Kansas City Chiefs, and there's no interest there, which would be shocking to me, then I would say that the Patriots would get right into the mix, and Hopkins loves Bill, and Bill loves Hopkins. This is a bromance right here. They would definitely hook up and have a potential 2023 and 2024 season together. But with Mac Jones, and I like Zappy more than Jones, bro. You put Zappy in there, I like it. I like the situation a little bit better. I do not like Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is not the real deal. I don't think he's going to last. I think he gets replaced. I think his confidence is shattered. I don't think he's a legitimate quarterback. I think maybe he's a good backup. I think he could win 2, 3, 4. I think he's kind of like, he could come in and win 2, 3, 4 games, if you need it, with his back against the wall. But I feel like him and Zach Wilson feel toast to me. They feel shot. What do you think, Jack? Do you like the Patriot quarterbacks, or are you? What do you think?
I haven't liked the Patriots since Brady left town.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, there's nothing there, and I mean, I don't know.
Sorry,
maybe
Bella.
Belichick thinks Brady stole the quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad for
But
Belichick yourself, because
they can't win anything there.
what a positive person Belichick yourself is, and I hate to break anybody's heart. And who am I? Who am I? Maybe the Patriots win the division, and maybe they leave the Buffalo Bills in the rearview mirror. Belichick yourself. Stick to your gut. Stick to your guns. Support your team. Who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to suggest
I guess
that?
if you drive in reverse long enough, you're going to be looking in the rear view mirror.
You know what?
I just wanted to call in.
Jeez, Jack, that's amazing.
Thanks for the card. I appreciate it.
Hey, Jack.
And let's everybody have a good season.
Jack, you need to call in more often. We love the Jack of all trades comments, all the special sayings you have. You are a man of words, and we need more of you. And you can stay on the line if you want. If you're busy, I think you said something about being at IHOP, talking about D-Hop. I don't know, but you can certainly call back.
Big stack, and it's coming right now.
Big
Loaded
stacks
with strawberries, whipped cream.
Jack of
all
all
the
trades.
big hits.
Jack of all trades. Jack, call back if you have something more, please.
Peace.
Do us that courtesy, please. Thank you. All right, Bruce,
Peace.
what else did you have, Bruce? Hello? Bruce? Hello?
Oh, I'm right here.
What's up?
I just made a trade. I wanted to see if it got Smitty approved. 1 second, I got to pull it up.
I'll put my hand on the take a lap button. Go ahead. Hello? Hello?
I'm here, Smitty. I just made a trade.
Okay.
I gave up Aaron Rodgers and Brian Robinson for $150 in fab money.
Okay.
And Sam Howell.
So you got $150 in fab money and Sam Howell for Aaron Rodgers, and who else? Who'd you give up? Aaron Rodgers and who?
Brian Robinson.
And is it a super flex?
No, it's 2 quarterbacks.
And who's your starting quarterback?
No, yeah,
it is a super flex. It's a super flex, or it's a mandatory 2 QB or super flex.
It's super flex.
Okay. And who's your starting quarterback? Who's your number one?
I got Daniel Jones now, but I have all the rookies. Most of them.
Bro, I love Sam Howell. I don't know that I bank on him. If you're in rebuild mode, this makes a lot of sense. If you can win,
I'm in rebuild mode.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you go win now, Aaron Rodgers is probably your pick. It's not. Look, I like Sam Howell a lot. He's a dice roll. I think you're buying him above where I'm recommending you steal him away. I feel like, but in Dynasty, it's not that crazy, especially if you get all that fab money and you could blow your entire fab money wad and do a full load drop during the season, Brucey.
Initiate full load drop.
You if you're above everyone else in that fab money now, like if you're nobody can touch you, and let's say that the McKinnon of last year is sitting there and you can scoop that person up, then who's laughing now, Brucey? Who's laughing now? Maybe Sam Howell doesn't even work out. You still end up getting that guy, picking up that man. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But I do feel like people need to make sure they hear me. They hear Smitty and don't just listen to Smitty when he says that Sam Howell is rags to riches, meaning you can get him for an absolute, ham sandwich, half of a ham sandwich. Not even a full one, Bruce. The ones where you cut the crust off and you give to your kids and they don't eat it, and then you eat the rest of it because you're like, I don't want this to go to waste. I know I've already eaten, but this is a quarter of a ham sandwich right here. That's what you can get Sam Howell for. But you bought him for a little bit higher, but you know what? Dynasty, hard to know. We got Salty on the phone. Salty, are you the Salty that super chatted earlier?
Yes, sir.
That's my boy, Salty. Appreciate you. What can I help you with?
I just wanted to just real quick here. I just got a second before I head off to the gym. I just wanted to just mention this trade that I got and just completed here. This guy offered me. He just hits me up, says, who do you like on my team? I like Christian Watson a lot. He sends me Christian Watson, Kendre Miller, a 2024 third rounder.
Hold on, let me write this. Let me write this down. Christian Watson goes to you.
Yes.
Okay, you get
all
Watson.
this goes to me.
Watson.
I get Kendre, and I get a 24 third rounder and a 25 third rounder.
Wait, you just said Kendre goes to you, not Christian Watson?
All of it. All of that goes to me.
Okay. So Watson, Miller, and who else?
2 third rounders, 2024 and 2025.
Okay.
For a 2024 and a 2025 first rounder.
24 and 25 first?
Yeah.
It depends on where those first rounders are at. I don't think Kendre, look, here's the thing. Christian Watson easily warrants 1 first round pick. Christian Watson may not have earned the value to require 2 first round picks, and especially if you have no idea where they're going to be. So
I've got a feel. I believe, looking at these first rounders, that as far as next year goes, I think that my team is in contention, and that this next one next year is going to be a bad pick it's going to be a late pick.
Yeah, punch that thumb up button on your way in the door, guys. 163 of you in here. I look, here's my breakdown of this. Do I think Watson will earn this? Yes. Do I think you should pay this? Not really. But do I think it'll work out for you? Absolutely. It's more about, like I said with Sam Howell, Brucey getting Sam Howell cheaper is what I would like, but it's still going to work out because I believe in Sam Howell, but it is a risk. Is Christian Watson worth 2 first rounders, fair market value wise? I don't think so right now. I think in our community he would, because we love Christian Watson, but I don't know. He also is climbing into the 3rd round, so maybe he is fair market value close to this. I don't mind it. I love this kid. I think he's going to be an absolute marvel. I think he's the next Deebo Samuel, but just not used quite in the Deebo Samuel role. And he doesn't even play like Deebo. I'm just saying he's utility. He's a guy that can run for. No one's going to run for what Deebo did the year Jimmy G couldn't throw the football and handed the ball to Deebo Samuel 85,000 times, and Deebo Samuel led the league in yak yards and had an amazing year. Never going to happen. Never going to happen again. Probably that a wide receiver is going to play that wide back role to that perfection. But will he be a 200-yard rusher with 2 or 3 touchdowns, or a 150-yard rusher with 2 or 3 touchdowns? But Saeed's got the good measurement here. This is the kind of offer you throw at for Olave. This is the kind of offer you throw out for Garrett Wilson, and you probably have to give up a little bit more in something else for Garrett Wilson, or maybe you're just getting Garrett Wilson for the 2 first rounders and maybe 2 second rounders, or you're giving up kind of a little bit more. But Olave and Garrett Wilson feel a little bit more to this like the weight of this package, whereas I feel like you're buying a little high. It's going to work out though. Like if you already did it, buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to work out. You're going to look good, but it does seem a tad bit like you're buying in our world full of our excited Christian Watson fans. You know what I'm saying? Like Tell me a story. Go ahead.
What if I told you that I had another first rounder next year as well that I completely forgot about when I made?
I mean, that's irrelevant to the trade, but it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
It just made me feel better about it that I wasn't giving all of my value for the next year. But however, that kind of leads me to believe you're not a huge fan of Kendrick, because I actually like him a lot.
I am.
in the
No.
long run. I think that-
No. Very big fan of Kendrick. Very big fan. But I don't know.
This is go on.
I love Kendra Miller. They love Kendra Miller. The Saints have talked about this pass catching ability of his that reminds them of a replacement player for Alvin Kamara. So no. He's been in my top 5 running backs the entire offseason. So I love Kendra Miller for the rookies.
God.
So no, I love him, but his price tag is near zero. Like, keep in mind, when I talk about trade values, it's a scale, and it's all about what's the fair market value. Now, my outlook on the trade, if the trade's already completed, is going to be different than my should you do this trade, should you get more. Like I'm saying here, it's going to be okay. You're going to be, if you did this trade already, sounds like you did, it'll be okay. Don't toss and turn at night. Christian Watson's climbing up ADP boards so quickly. He's in the 3rd round in redraft. He's a 3.5 to 3.12 in redraft right now. That's higher than I ever wanted it to be. And part of me blames myself for hyping him so much. And you can, out there, you new viewer, it's typing right now, angry Angus is going, Smitty, you're so arrogant. You think you move ADP data. We do move ADP data. We do. We are a powerful community because not only do we draft over and over and over on the show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's our weekly marathon of drafting at midnight Eastern. Promo code Smitty will get you in the door to any of the drafts we're doing. Link is in the description of the video. Link is in the description of every video. In fact, let me drop the link as well right now in this very, very live stream. Okay, here's the link right here. Link is in the description of the video. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty will get it done too. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. But we draft so much on the show during the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single 3-day little marathon every single week until kickoff of week 1 every week. But we also have all of you going out there and doing all these 10, 15 little puppy drafts and poodle drafts, and everybody's cascading this, increase in value. And so we got to be careful what we do, and because our web goes so far and extends so far. But I'm telling you, I in a very bad way, people say all the time, in a bad way, they say this. They don't say it in like, oh, you're a cool show, Smitty. They say it in a bad way. They go, Smitty, you ruined the ADP of some guys. You really ruined the ADP. CeeDee Lamb 2 years ago, they said we destroyed his value. A lot of channels said we destroyed his value. We kind of did, but it's okay. I'm proud of us because of how powerful we are, but we need to be careful with that power because we could drive a guy like Christian Watson to 3.2 from 3.5. We have that kind of ability. We do. We got to be careful with it. With great power comes great responsibility in terms of drafting. Can we go, Salty, can you hold it real quickly? I'm going to go over to Bella. Check yourself. Bella, I'm sorry if I offended you. You know you're my boy.
Anyway.
You what?
I got to head out of here.
Oh,
anyways.
yeah. Hey,
wanted to say thanks. Just wanted to mention that.
Hey, Salty, go appreciate your super chat. Go get a good pump in, bro. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'll get one right now.
Yeah,
I got a weight in my hand. I'm doing a pump right now. Go get a good pump in, okay? Keep that show in your earpiece. Later. Bella, check yourself.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
What's going on? Yeah, she was breaking my heart earlier, but I do understand, man. I know how it is.
Yeah, I guess I would say this. I love what Bill Belichick's capable of doing if he's got the right, players in place, but he needs a quarterback. He needs a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Me and you both agree on Mac. We definitely don't think he's the answer. We both like Zappy better. But then it's like I can't just throw away. I don't want no excuses for next year. So give him everything that he needs to succeed. So therefore we can really see exactly who we are. Like who we are and who he is. And if he's not that guy, then we have to move on. I just don't want to hear, oh, well, he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to, and It's nobody there to support him. They didn't have an offensive coordinator last year. So let's get everything that he needs and let's push the ball down the road. Let's see what he can do. So that's why I'm like, yo, if that's the case, I know D-Hop, hopefully he has 2 years left. But he's still an outstanding talent.
Yeah. Hey, real quickly, Bella, I don't mean to put you on hold real quick. I'll come right back to you, but Marsman's calling in, and that's what this card's about. Hang tight. Just sit right there. Rock out, Marsman extraordinaire. Yep. Marsman, rock out. What can I do for you, pal?
What's up? Did you change your tune on Addison? I saw you got him in the 7th round.
Addison? No, I mean, I haven't changed. That's the funny part is I haven't changed my tune at all on Addison. Addison's exactly where I continue to rank him, but it's a really, really good late wide receiver 2 or really good, wide receiver 3, like high-end wide receiver 3. I'm just telling people to pump the brakes on expecting near wide receiver 1 value or ever expecting it with JJ on that roster. But I've it's so funny that people say that about my Addison take. I like Addison. I've never once said I don't like Addison. Never, ever once. But it's just, I can't, there's a ceiling on his value. So if I'm going like extremely late wide receiver shopping, then he makes sense. Like 7th round's fantastic. Like 5th round, no. I've seen him go in the 5th round before. That's just way too early.
5th round? That's crazy.
Yeah, some people will reach on him, and I just don't agree with that. D-Hop to the Chargers, says Jack. He wants D-Hop to go to the Chargers. That would be an amazing place. I agree, Jack. I would love that. Jordan Addison, just to get that news out of the way. Jordan Addison, unspecified, is not practicing at voluntary OTAs due to a minor injury. Until we hear something, we just got to assume it's minor. We can't, freak out about anything. A lot of these guys will sit out for something tiny just to make sure it doesn't turn into anything. So until we hear more, we can't assume the worst, I think. Thank you, Jack, for dropping that $2 holler. What else you got, Rock Out, before I jump back to Bella? Anything else on your mind?
One more thing. Can you tell this dude take a lap on this trade he sent me?
What did he send you?
He basically tried to cover it up with a bunch of players. He wanted my Breece Hall, and he was going to give me Gabe Davis, Dorchett, Sutton, and Jamal Williams.
Jamal,
Sutton,
Gabe, and Sutton?
Sutton and Dorch.
Dorch. He's throwing Dorch in?
Yeah.
For Breece. Okay. Well, you send him here, pal. You send him here at 32 minutes and 54 seconds into the show, and you send him this little number right here. Where is it? Where is it when I need it? Here we go.
I know what you're looking for.
Here we go.
You are offer sex. You are made offer sex.
Okay, you tell him his trade offer sucks. That's ridiculous. Okay, Bella, check yourself. You wanna continue with what you were saying? I didn't mean to cut you off there. Marsman called in.
No, I was just saying, man. I just want them to finally just give this kid what he needs to succeed, and let's just see if he can do it. Because honestly, I just had enough of him, and I'm just upset, man. My Celtics lost last night. It's not looking good for me right now.
I'm sorry, Bella. Check yourself. I wish there was something I could do for you to make you feel better. I could send you to the moon.
To the moon.
That would make me feel better.
I could send you to the moon. But yeah, I don't know that Mac Jones is gonna do anything. But hey, I like Zappy. And I'm not saying Zappy.
I don't think Zappy's the answer neither. I just like him a little bit better than I like Jones.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. Like, I like Zappy. I don't know how much I like Zappy, but like, am I rooting for Zappy to get in there and get a shot? Yeah. And could he be like, I keep using Jared Goff as, and not necessarily last year Jared Goff, the years prior. I use Jared Goff as like the barometer of being good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL and stay there for a little while. Like, do I hope that he becomes Zappy that good like 12 to 18 capable, and you get a Hopkins, and somehow you just end up winning games. You win games with defense. You're able to score the football a few times a game. Like I don't know. I think the answer was, and we both agreed, the answer was to go get Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's what we needed to do, but we botched that.
Yeah, it was botched. It was botched by a lot of teams because Kraft even said, "It's up to Bill. It's up to Bill."
Yeah.
Bill, and that could have just been him trying to like not answer the tough questions and be the bearer of bad news. But I don't know. I don't think it was. I think Bill had an opportunity to go get Lamar if he wanted to. The problem with Lamar, and I understand it, but I don't understand it when a team has a crappy quarterback situation. What I understand is that in general, bringing in Lamar is not plug and play, and so it's something to where you got to change your entire offense. You got to do all kinds of different things.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because he's not a plug and play quarterback. You just can't put him in.
You got to change everything.
Offense and expect him to succeed.
But Bill should have changed everything for him. He should have.
He's smart enough to. He's
definitely.
He's got the football IQ too.
Yeah, I still like Bill. I know a lot of people are like writing Bill off, like Bill without Brady, Bill is garbage, blah blah blah. I don't agree with that. I think Bill just needs a quarterback. I think everybody needs a quarterback. So it's not like it's Hogan dropping a super chat. D-Hop to the Packers. I don't think that's gonna happen. Breece Hall news. Somebody said, "What's the Breece Hall news?" So I'll get to that right now, real quickly. This is the Athletic. Rosenblatt. Never heard of them in my life. They just keep churning out. I don't know if these are like Chat GPT writers. Every time they come up with something, it's like someone new. They have 1,000 writers for the Athletic that just kind of cycle through. It seems, but the Athletics, Zach Rosenblatt, some guy sitting in his basement. Typing up a TPS report. No offense to TPS reports. They need to be typed too. TPS report typers are people too. But this guy probably just on the side, writing for the Athletic, somehow, some way got a position to just do a little one-off piece once in a while. Writes that it would be surprising if Breece Hall knee was ready to go on day one of training camp. Not crazy because that's training camp. That's not week one of the season. That's training camp. So not even a big deal or a huge concern anyway, if that was the case. But it would be surprising. Why would it be surprising? I didn't dig to the ends of the earth to find out where this came from, what rabbit hole. But I don't see anything on the surface. And when a report like CBS Sports, NBC Sports, Yahoo, The Athletic, or any of these write this, and it's merely their opinion, and there's nothing that I can look at to substantiate it, then I just I don't dismiss it, but I take it with a grain of salt. Like, I don't know what this even means. There's nothing here like, hey, he's behind because he did this, or hey, he had a little setback here. It would be surprising to see him get put in a position to tear it, re-injure it, so I'm not worried about it, but I don't know. We don't even know where. We've heard that he looks really good. He's been running on the field. He's been cutting, doing some light cutting. So I don't know that he wouldn't be ready to go day one of training camp. Because what does ready to go mean? Like he could be out there just not doing everything that everybody else is doing. But who's to say he's not going to be out there day one of training camp working on things that he can work on? Doing some band work to strengthen his quads. Like, he'll be out there doing all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't understand where this is coming from. Out there, what? Full capacity? Okay, sure. Maybe he's not out there full capacity day one of training camp. No one expects that. So this is good news, though, because it's being taken in a negative direction. Like, oh, he's behind schedule. He's not. This guy just happened to write about it, and in a way that made people think it's negative. There's nothing to see here. Don't concern yourself with it until we hear something negative. This is not negative. So don't worry about that at all. We got another super chat from Jeffrey here. Where does Breece finish? I would say top 10. Where depends on his readiness and my investment level in redraft. In Dynasty, I'm all in. In redraft, which most of my drafts will be later on, is my investment level is going to be based on his readiness, because readiness is everything with ACL tears. People that say, oh, I stay away from people that coming off their ACL tear their first year, that's a very blanket way to approach it. It's okay if you approach it that way. It's a very safe way, but it all depends on readiness. Your readiness to be out on the field in taking hits in week one. And if you're cutting for the very first time with pads on, like a week before, you're not ready. That's what happened to Barkley. He was not ready. He was not even close to ready. He was not even close. So people need to be careful of trying to just tie all ACL injuries together, lumping them together and saying they're not ready. This is from Jacob. Jacob drops a $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get a moonshot, my man. Jacob, to the moon, pal. Jacob says, hot take, Roschon Johnson will be running back 1 for the Bears before the season ends. Best talent, not named Fields. We love Roschon here on the channel, so you're going to get no arguments from everybody here. Roschon is bigger than Bijan by quite a bit. They stand next to each other, and one of them looks like a running back. Not that Bijan doesn't look like a running back in other settings and around other people, but when the two of them stand together, he looks like the more dominant, bigger guy. Like he's a big boy. So Roschon's a nice RB, and he's got a lot of upside in Chicago. The only thing I'd say is Chicago feels like they're wanting it to be a committee, but who cares what they want? If this guy goes out there and produces and the other guys don't, he will take over, and they'll change very quickly to, okay, let's get a guy on the field that's going to produce. So I love Roschon. I think the Bears are going places this year, and therefore they will want their best talent on the field. This isn't a situation where they're going to dial everybody back, wait a year before they run the miles and tread off of this kid's tires. So I think you could see Roschon emerge. Not a bold take at all. Not a hot take at all. This is very much a standard par for the course take here in this room, because we love this man, Roschon Johnson. Send him to the moon. Chase Brown as well. A-Chain in Miami is also another good player. They're all in the same vein, around the same ADP. Appreciate that. Let's head on back over to the Bruce. The Bruce, do you have anything else you would like to add? And then I want to go to Scott, who's been waiting patiently in the corner. Bruce.
Yeah. Can you grade my team?
Hit me with as quick as you can. Hit me with just the starters.
Daniel Jones is my starting quarterback. My starting running backs are going to be Jahmyr Gibbs and Alexander Mattison. My wide receivers are going to be Devontae Smith and DJ Chark. And my tight end is going to be Evan Ingram. And my flex might be Sutton.
You want me to hit you straight?
Yeah.
Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. No, I'm just kidding, Bruce. It's not that I couldn't build around this team, okay? Because dynasty teams are very different than redraft teams. If this is redraft, they would not win. It just wouldn't. You're in rebuild mode, clearly. What kind of draft picks do you have?
Probably high ones. I know this year I had 1.3, and I took Gibbs.
You don't have any other draft picks, just your own. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd feel a lot better if this.
And I took. I had the 1.11, and I took Richardson.
I'd feel a lot better if this team had a Burrow or a Fields or somebody that you could build around with Gibbs and Devontae Smith, but you have literally no wide receiver 2 or 3, in my opinion, for the long term. No depth, obviously, if those are your top 2. Gibbs and Madison, we don't know what Madison is. Madison could vanish as quickly as he emerges, but he also could be a savior for you or a nice little trade piece, because I don't think he's got like this 4 or 5 year shelf life. You know what I mean? So I probably would say, trade him on the high if you can. Like a Madison and Daniel Jones for a struggling Fields if Fields comes out of the gate 3 games and struggles. And guys will struggle. A lot of the players we love, not all of them are going to do well weeks 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or at least weeks 1, 2, or week 1. And buy low season's my favorite season. It's my favorite season because people panic and have knee-jerk reactions during week 1, in the middle, in the first quarter. In the first quarter of week 1, people will have knee-jerk reactions, and they'll be selling players like they're nothing. After 1 quarter of action, especially after 2 quarters of action, after 4 quarters of action, it's definitely possible you're going to go ahead and get a monster steal. Okay? Real quickly, Bruce, hang tight real quickly. Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta get back to work, man. Love you guys.
Who's this?
Keep on in the community.
Is this Scott?
It is Belichick yourself.
Oh, Belichick yourself. Okay, Belichick yourself. Thank you for calling in, and you got my support always, man. I'm sorry about talking bad about.
Oh no, man. It's all good, man.
Have a good day at work. Later, pal.
One more thing, Smitty. One more thing. I'm trying to get a hold of that movement card. What do I have to do before I go?
Email me. The list is very long. I mean, we pretty much have a backup list. But email me. I've got another little fun thing that we're gonna do that I'll make sure to get you an email or send you an invite on first. Okay, so send me an email.
Okay, thanks, bro.
All right, later, pal.
I got you. All
right. Let me just let's see here. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who's this? What's up, Matt? What can we do for you?
When it comes to fantasy football, and, I know how hard you work, and the community really appreciates you. So keep up the great work. I know how high you are on Christian Watson and Olave. I have Christian Watson now, and I'm going to be able to draft JSN in our rookie draft. But the person who has Olave is looking for a trade and has offered me Olave for Christian Watson and JSN. I'm a little bit worried about JSN out of the gate this year with Lockett and Metcalf being there. What is your take on that?
Wow. Let's go to the panel here. Brucey, do you like Olave or Watson and JSN?
I like Watson
and JSN. Marsman Rock Out, do you like Olave or JSN? I'm sorry, Olave or JSN and Watson?
Olave.
Let's go to Scott. Have you? Yeah. Scott, what do you think of that? Olave or Watson and JSN?
I'm assuming that if this is dynasty, I would take Watson and JSN.
Yeah. Well, but it's not such an easy call. There are a lot of people in the chat saying Olave.
So this is a little bit of a hybrid league, guys. So what we're allowed to do is, when we're allowed to draft rookies, and you keep them free for 3 years. But after that, you have to burn a keeper spot on them. So it's kind of a hybrid. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's been a league that's been going on for like 25 years.
So what you're telling me is JSN's got a little more value than normal in this draft. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I see, that's my concern with JSN is he's not, in my opinion, I don't know if he's going to end up being wide receiver 1 in the rookie class this year because of the competition that he has. Now, next year when they're able to maybe possibly move on from a Lockett or something like that, I think his value goes up.
See,
but,
what's crazy is the chat's all over the place, and I don't blame them because it's a tough call, and we love a lot.
It's a tough call?
We love a lot.
I've been going back and forth on this.
Yeah.
Both ways. So
yeah, I would struggle with it. The whole chat struggling with it. In general, Olave not even close as Wild Bill. Like that's an example of somebody who absolutely loves the Olave side. Then you got a handful of people saying give me JSN and Watson. I'd probably take who's your if JSN's not on your team, who's the wide receiver you're starting in place of JSN? Like what's your
stacked in wide receivers?
Okay. That helps.
Drake London, which I just traded for not too long ago. I've got Waddle and I've got Higgins. So I've got some. I can do a 2-for-1 and it not kill me there.
Then you're the perfect candidate to overpay. So I would say go get overpay. Go get Olave. I mean. I would say, hey, maybe go the safer route and get the 2 guys, but you've got a ton of depth So you could definitely afford to do this. And I think Olave does become a top 5 wide receiver. I really do. And I think Watson could be 6 to 10. There could be some overlap to where all year they're like this, but at the end of the day, Olave does feel like he's going to be an absolute monster, and I'd rather take that chance. And how many years will you have left of him? 3? So
2 years left in him. Same thing with Watson. 2 years left.
Okay, so JSN would give you okay.
JSN would give me 3.
Yeah, I'd probably go because of your depth. I would probably be fine with going in and taking the better player. So yeah, the Olave overpay, says Travis Rowe. Agree with that. Scott, what do you got? Anything else, Scott, or have you talked yet? I forget.
Yeah, no, I want you to tell me I'm overthinking this.
Okay, you're overthinking.
I just traded away Austin Eckler and got Bijan. Straight up trade.
Well,
now, what the reason is that I started looking at Kellen, the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, right? And the Cowboys ran the ball 420 some odd times between Zeke and Pollard last year. They only caught 56 passes. So I'm thinking there's a big decrease in Eckler's passing, but it's that second running back, 400 carries that get me. And that's where it gets to the question for you. Isaiah Spiller was drafted. He was only 20 last year. He was the youngest guy in the draft. A year to mature. Does Isaiah Spiller, because Joshua Kelly sucks, does Isaiah Spiller come in and take that second back role that they used in Dallas, and then all of a sudden you can get this guy for free right now and could have a fantasy player?
I think basically I don't believe in Spiller. He had a very, very bad combine. He was not good in college. He had good numbers, but when you look at the metrics, he was not good. Marsman Matt, Marsman, he's not a Marsman, but he's still a man of the people. Matt, appreciate you. I'm not a big fan at all, bro, of Spiller, but I do agree that this is going to be under Moore a different situation, and I have my concerns about Eckler. I really do. I don't think Eckler. First of all, just in general, you smashed on this trade. Eckler's not a first rounder, bro, in redraft. Like, he's going in the second round for a reason. People are worried about him being 28 years old. So for some reason in Dynasty, you escape this year and he's an absolute top 5 monster. You literally have drop-off year. Welcome third round Austin Eckler 2024 value. So Bijan is getting drafted in redraft in the top 4. And Bijan in Dynasty's arguably number 1 overall. So there's not even a debate here as to whether, like, almost take a lap for even hesitating on trading Eckler in for Bijan. But as far as the Kellen Moore, as far as the Austin Eckler and the backup and how that's going to work, I don't think Eckler can handle what they're going to ask him to do between the tackles, but he doesn't really need to. Somebody's going to get some work. And by default, even though I don't like Spiller, if he stays healthy, he might produce. But I definitely don't love him. Hang tight real quickly. Hang tight. Let me just get the super chats and then I'll come right back to you. Russian Collusion dropping a $20 hauler on screen. Russian, appreciate you. I guess I'm having an issue with the phone line real quick again, which is just par for the course. I don't know what's going on with this damn thing. Let me just go ahead and change to this real quickly. Audio. I can move to this speaker here. Let's see here. Rock out, say something for me.
What's up?
Okay, good. I think everybody can hear you. I'm using this speaker right
Working?
here. Yeah, I mean, it's working. My patchwork, is working. Okay. Russian Collusion dropping a $20 hauler on screen. What a man. Thoughts on my best ball start. My BB best ball mania start here. Diggs, Olave, Najee, Gibbs, Herbert, Kyle Pitts. Absolutely love it. Smitty approved to the moon. That's a phenomenal start, Russian. The only thing I could even imagine that would be better is like just, that. No, I mean, that's great. That's great. There's nothing you could really change about that. I like that a lot. That's really, really good. That's a good start. Russian, I'm curious to know how the team shakes out. Circle back around and let us know who the next couple of picks are after that. But Russian, appreciate you. Call in if you have anything and you want to go over that team. Melvin, Smitty, I want to join the Moonman card. Melvin, I appreciate that. There are a lot of people trying to get in. There are only 23 spots total across the Moonman and Marsman cards. I obviously am one of the Marsman, so there are 11 Marsman cards, and there are only 12 Moonman cards. There are 24 people across these two leagues and in this club, and the wait list is through the roof, and I pretty much have already filled it anyway. I'm sorry, pal. But we'll have other stuff. Don't worry, you'll be able to get in on. So hang tight, and I appreciate your super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Maddie dropping a super chat. Dijon didn't go third. You can't draft running backs. Dijon ain't going third. You can't draft running backs. He's obviously talking about Bijan. But Dijon Mustard ain't going third. You can't draft running backs. He's going third, fourth, fifth, bro. I don't know what we're talking about here, but he is going third, fourth, fifth. He is arguably the number one running back off the board, in my opinion, but CMC will continue to go number one in most circles, and that's fine by me, because if I'm drafting 4, I've got a big grin on my face, because I know that JJ, and I like JJ and Chase as well. I'd probably draft Chase number 1 overall, JJ number 2, and then I'd draft Bijan number 3 most times. I have some shares in McCaffrey, but as you guys saw my video today, please go watch it. I have concerns about McCaffrey. I think all of you should have concerns about McCaffrey. There's definitely a reason to be concerned. Young dropping a $5 hauler. We are a part of a golden age of the show. Everything feels perfect. It's a tight-knit community. Nobody putting in work like Smitty. Appreciate you, Young. To the You just been Smitty approved, my man. Appreciate you. This one from Chris. Chris says, I just traded Stevenson, Mike Williams, and a 25 first for Christian McCaffrey. Did I get fleeced? I wouldn't say you got fleeced, because he could produce like an absolute monster if he stays healthy. No one's debating Christian McCaffrey is running back 1 capable if he's healthy, but the video I released today was a snippet from a 12-minute clip from a video I did last night, and it was such a good conversation I put it into its own video and released it this morning. But the bottom line is we all believed, and Matty's saying LLL. I don't know what you're talking about. Matt, call in if you. I don't know what you're talking about. L, or explain yourself. I think we can all admit that before he's traded to the Niners, Christian McCaffrey was a concern to everybody, and no one was sure if he was going to stay healthy ever again. And he did. He got banged up a couple of times. There was some concern, and Shanahan runs his RBs into the ground, and he's going to do it again in 2023. There's some concern that Christian McCaffrey won't. Like, why are we assuming he's got 1 or 2 years left when we barely thought he had 1 left last year? That's all I'm saying. It's time to pump the brakes on McCaffrey being a lock-solid number 1 running back in fantasy football and the easy RB1 if you're drafting at like 3 overall. I don't think he's the easy RB1. I'm drafting Bijan over him. I'm drafting Bijan as running back 1. Yes, you're drafting him kind of at his ceiling value, but you kind of do draft everybody at their ceiling value in round 1. No one's a steal in the top 5 overall. You're drafting somebody. It's just who can be the most reliable of the guys you're picking in that top 5. And that's why sometimes I trade down, because I'd rather have Bijan at 7 if I could get away with it, and trade down for my number 1 overall pick and gain my 4th rounder into the 3rd rounder in some sort of trade move. So, that's the way I look at it. But I appreciate you, Chris. I don't think you got fleeced, but in a dynasty league, I mean, how much time does he have left? Your team, let me see. It's a 1 QB full PPR. My team is Hurts, Breece Hall, CMC, Olave, Watson. You also have Hopkins. Well, you have a good shot at winning your league. If Christian McCaffrey, and if you cuff him, you might be okay, bro. If you cuff him, you might win this year very easily with that team, and then maybe you just kind of look back and regret trading that first rounder in Stevenson like 2 years from now. But I don't know that you did a bad thing if you cuff it, for 2023 at least. Let's see here. My 4 horsemen are Bijan, CD, Olave, Walker. That's I love Walker in the 4th and 5th round. I just stole Walker away in an Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty draft in like the 5.3 territory. So love my team in that draft. I'm just ecstatic over it. Let's go over to let's see here. Let's go over to Scott. Scott, what else you got, bro?
That was it, because I was just kind of looking. I've got a pretty good handle on the redrafts I've done, but I was looking for that fifth running back that in a pinch has to play, and that occurred to me today. So, do you think who would you? Because I'd like to have the second running back in a Kellen Moore offense. Would you lean Joshua Kelly or Spiller?
I mean, you got to think the depth chart says Spiller. I'm sure. Let me pull up, and I don't even know if these depth charts are even.
What I'm seeing is Kelly at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I would think because they didn't draft a running back.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they brought in like Kareem Hunt or Zeke Elliott. But
yeah.
All right. I mean, like Sony Michel's also there. I think still, right? So
I've also, the whole talk when I called in for the first time the other night, the whole talk on Bijan really got me to thinking, and it's I think my drafts are killing it. I got one guy started inquiring about trading for Bijan. The dude comes back. I had taken Stephon Diggs in the second round, and he offered me Bijan and Chris Godwin for Diggs.
Yeah,
by himself.
Yeah, Bijan, in my opinion, is the number 1 running back at the end of the year. But that's me. Not everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to see it that way, and that's fine. I get there's a lot of worried Williams out there.
Barkley on running back core, and I couldn't pass it up. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. Take care.
Later, Scott. Yeah, there's a lot of worried Williams out there that just they want to see it happen, and that's fine. Those are the quality control. People at the bank, that's the accountant, that's the TPS reporting bill. He can't see Bijan for what he could be, and there's risk involved in expecting it. But you know what? There's no holes in this guy's game. There's no warning sign or red flags at all. And Atlanta's not a red flag. If people that use Atlanta as a red flag are just doubling down on bad take after bad take, and they're just trying to not be wrong. Oh, the Atlanta Falcons are Ritter's bad. Ritter last year, Judge Ritter, when he didn't have Pitts or Bijan, and yeah, what you saw last year without those two is what he's gonna be. What else you got, Rockout? Oh, Rockout, let me go back to your team real quick. So, in general, bro. Oh, I erased your team. Your team was solid. Thank you again, Collusion. Thank you again, Melvin. Your team was solid in a couple places, but it just had no depth. So I don't know how to turn that team around. What was it again? Read it off to me one more time. It was Daniel Dimes, Gibbs. What was the other running back?
I think he went off the line.
Can you hear me, Rockout? Hello?
No, that was someone else.
Oh, I thought that was your team. That was Bruce. That was Bruce's team. Bruce. Was it Bruce's team? Whose team was that? I forget. I don't know.
It was one of them.
I'm losing it, bro.
Bruce
I'm losing it. The Patrick.
Scott,
The Patrick, you're on the line. You're live.
No,
hey, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up, DePatrick?
Hey, I got a question. I'm having a hard time, and I'm sure you touched on it throughout your shows, but I don't think ever went far. I'm having a hard time deciding where it would be okay to pick just a couple of people. Are we buying any stocks on the Bucks wide receivers, Godwin or Evans? The Bills running backs, Joe Mixon, and then the only other two is Kamara and Javonte Williams. And then that's all I got for me.
So I'm buying Kamara everywhere I can at 8th, 9th value. Like if he's in the 9th round or 8th round on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, draft with us during the evenings, guys. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The link is in the description. The promo code is Smitty. Either one will get you where you need to go. I just dropped the link right now. I dropped it twice in a row. Click that and sign up ahead of time so you don't miss out on getting in. But Kamara in like the 8th or 9th round on Underdog, it's so weird, Patrick, because we'll get into like a ESPN mock draft or we'll mock draft on Sleeper and Kamara will go in the 5th round. And it's not anybody's fault. It's because the suggested rank of the RBs are sitting right there in front of you. You don't know what to do. You don't want to go down 15 picks and look like an idiot because you're reaching 15 picks. So everyone's influenced by that. So I don't even know where his ADP really is going to be in all of your regular redraft drafts in August. I have no clue. It could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 7, it could be 8, it could be 9. He's got the biggest range of potential ADP value depending on what format you're drafting in, whether you're drafting with grandmas, whether you're drafting on ESPN. But on Underdog, where people are paying their hard-earned money and they're not bailing in the middle of a mock draft in round 5 and piling bad ADP data on bad ADP data. Keep in mind that the ADP data is essentially the entire draft. There's one piece of data, right? Then another draft happens. There's another piece of data and another. And if somebody bails after 5 rounds and the computer controls that team, that ADP just gets used to fill those computer-controlled teams, and you're just piling the ADP data on the ADP data. Whereas Underdog Fantasy, everybody's a paying customer. They put $5 in, $25 in. They're finishing their draft. I'm sure some people fall asleep at the wheel or whatever, but 90% of those drafts, I would imagine, get completed in full by their owner. If not even just by the queue. Like they queue it up, and if they time out, it goes off the queue. So the ADP data is so much more accurate. I only use Underdog ADP data. I don't use any other ADP data at all. And I need to get back to my weekly ADP show. But I would say you listed off a ton of players. The Buck wide receivers, I'm taking Mike Evans as my wide receiver 3 without a blink, without a hesitation. I love that value. I don't know that I love the outlook like 100%, and I'm not like I'm betting my life on anything, but I feel like this guy's at 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Baker disappointment maker, I think, is probably not going to be the guy everybody hopes he's going to be, but maybe he throws enough, to make Evans 1,000-yard, 6-touchdown guy, and wide receiver 3-4 territory. That's pretty good. As far as Godwin, I think Godwin might suffer the most because I don't think the targets will be there, and I feel like Evans will command a little bit more, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I don't think the quarterback support is there for this to be a very good situation. Rashad White I love, but I hate the situation, but I do love that they think he's an every down back. That's great. So I'm excited about him, but I'm tempering my expectations because if he doesn't live near the end zone, how many touchdowns can he score? If he's seeing 8-man fronts and he averages 3.8 yards per carry, how long do they view him as an every down back, and will he get screwed out of that opportunity because he doesn't have any blocking? I don't know. I'm a little standoffish on drafting Buck players, but I do like Mike Evans a little bit, and I take Rashad White where I can. What was the other name? You said Kamara. Who else?
The other Kamara you already covered. Javonte Williams, are you banking on him at all, even in round 11, round 12?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going that late. If he is, then you're getting an absolute steal. He's going like around 6, 7, on Underdog Fantasy. Like, it depends on where he goes, like, and what platform you're drafting on. Again, everything's a little different. But Javonte as a 9, like even a 9-round pick player or an 8-rounder would be like a steal. So if you're telling me later than the 8th round, I'm all in. Yeah, and you can cuff him.
Okay.
Really, really easy to P-Ryan.
What, P-Ryan, yeah.
And if you do that, you're probably guaranteed like a really sneaky. This is similar to my Pacheco and McKinnon. Like you get Pacheco in the 6th or 7th round, and you cuff him to McKinnon, who goes a little earlier than we would like now. He's going really early, but I mean that's a steal, bro. That's an absolute steal. Hey, hang tight real quick, the Patrick. 1 second.
Right.
You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who's this? Yo, 612 caller. You're live on the show. Who's this? Logan, what's up, Logan?
What's going on, man?
You're live. What can we do for you?
Well, I don't know if you remember me, but I said something about Christian Watson over Olave.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like Christian Watson is a gem. He's a top 6 to 10 potential wide receiver in the making. They're both moon men. So you're not going to get any complaints from me of Watson over anybody, really. I mean, aside from the top like 3 wide receivers. I like Olave more than I like Watson, but I love both of them. I like Garrett Wilson more than I like Watson, but I love both of them. If I had a pecking order, it would probably be Garrett Wilson, Olave tied, to be honest. And then Olave just a step down, and London just a small step down from Watson. But they're all of them are capable of being top 10 wide receivers. 2 of them capable, and those probably being Garrett Wilson and Olave being top 6 capable. What are you thinking? You like Watson top 5? Okay. Anyway, the Patrick, what else you got?
Yeah, a little bit why like my rankings or like my guesses is a little bit off is because the 3 leagues I'm in, they're all 10-man leagues. So sometimes, especially once you get past the 3rd round, sometimes you're off by a whole round. Say what you got, what Underdog has is for 12-man teams, it's like a whole round off from where like I'm listing everybody. But the only other 3 names I had, Smitty, was Jesus. Amelia. Hi.
We're live.
Sorry about that.
Do it live.
Say again.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to yell. It's so good. Yeah, it happens. You don't have to. We're good.
Joe Mixon, Damian Harris, and James Cook. What's your thoughts on them?
Joe Mixon, Damian Harris, James Cook. Joe Mixon, stay away. I'd rather have Chase Brown. If Joe Mixon fell to like Javonte Williams territory, which he can, like in the 7th, 8th round, or whatever, then I'm buying him there. I'm buying him there.
Okay.
James Cook, I kind of, I don't know. Like if I'm just struggling really bad at running back, I'll take him, but I'm not expecting consistency, and I don't know what the hell's going to happen there. Not to mention whoever it is, they don't even use him properly. So, Buffalo's is weird about their RBs. And then who was the last one?
It was his handcuff, Damian Harris.
Oh yeah, I mean I kind of like Harris a little more than Cook right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for now, Smitty. Right. I'm having a hard time finding out where to put these guys.
I got you. Thanks, the Patrick. Appreciate you. All I know, bro, is when I'm going 0 RB, I'm scooping up Kamara all day. I'm scooping up Javonte all day. I'm pairing them with Swift or Pacheco. You kind of get one or the other. You can't really have both, it seems. But I love the Pacheco McKinnon. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Pacheco in round 6, 7. McKinnon's going earlier than we would like, but he's still going like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. And so if you cuff McKinnon and Pacheco together, that's an elite running back too. And it costs you sometimes 7th and 10th round value, which is crazy. And no one's even like, I have a video on it. But, yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Marsman Rock out. Final thoughts.
You rate one of my slow draft team.
All right, go ahead.
Got Justin Herbert at QB, Saquon Barkley, Pollard, Kupp, and Samuel.
Pollard and who?
Pollard and Barkley,
Okay.
Kupp, and Samuel.
Who and Samuel?
Kupp.
Kupp. And Debo?
Yep.
So Barkley, Pollard, Kupp, Debo, Herbert. So your first rounder was Kupp. Your second rounder was Barkley. Your third rounder was Pollard? That's pretty good.
Yeah, he was my third.
Yeah, you got Pollard in third, Barkley in 2, 4, Debo in 4 was great. Herbert in 5, that's good. I like that a lot. That's really good, bro. I don't think you could do better than that. That's really, really solid. I like it, bro.
What up,
Nice work. Here.
Oh, can you rate one more?
Yeah.
Real quick. All right. Running back, JT, Walker, Harris. Wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Pickens, and Dotson.
What is the third running back?
Najee Harris.
Najee.
After Walker.
So your first rounder was JT. Second rounder was AJB, or vice versa.
A.J. Brown.
Walker was your 4. Najee
Third.
was your 3. This was your 4. Did you take Dotson in the 5th?
6.
Yeah, wait a little bit because he falls quite a bit. But that's a good team. That's a good squad. I like it. Yeah, try and get Dotson as your wide receiver. Well, in this case, he was your wide receiver 3, but he tends to go in like the 7th or sometimes beyond. So don't reach too high on him. But I get it when you're sitting there and you're like, I'm gonna wait 24 picks for my next pick because I'm like back to back.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
20.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Good job, Rock Out. Appreciate you, my man. Marsman, Rock Out. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Let me get these. This is a team I've got right now that I really, really, really like. Let me screenshot this and put this on screen. This one just is flat. This is probably my and this goes to my best ball. I'm gonna have some content on this because I feel like people are going way, way, way too wide receiver heavy in best ball underdog fantasy promo code Smitty. What's up, Collusion?
Man,
what's up, my
just
man?
wanted to finish off my team for you that I sent in earlier.
Yeah.
So I gave you the first 6 picks, and
give it to me
the
again.
9th pick in the draft.
Give it to me again.
Bijan went right before me. Pissed me off. So I gave you the first pick, so that was up to Kyle Pitts. Then I took Quentin Johnson.
Well, hold on. Read it again. Read it again. I don't remember.
Okay. First pick was Diggs, Olave, Najee Harris, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Herbert, Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Quentin Johnson, Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine, Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Hyatt, Derek Carr, Juwan Johnson, Josh Downs.
I like it.
And then I got kind of Gus Edwards and Deuce Vaughn.
Very
and
good.
Luke Musgrave.
Very good, man. Very, very good. I like it. Definitely one of those teams I could see doing it, going the distance. I mean, obviously you need Gibbs and Harris to do well. Pitts, I mean, there's a lot of everyone's got to do well for you to win a best ball.
Oh yeah,
mania, but like that. This is this good collective group.
Bijan was picked in the 8th spot. That was a nice pick, and Garrett Wilson was picked and coming back just before me. I mean, I got a lot of it, which I like anyways.
Yeah,
but I prefer to have the hookup with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
I keep seeing these other channels on Instagram especially. I'll just see some kind of graphic or something. And I've got a lot of buddies in the industry too, so I see a lot of their stuff on IG especially, but and it'll be like a mock draft, all 3 of them, 2 of them, or whoever's in the mock draft, and it'll be like they got Olave in the 4th round, and they're just like, what team do you like best? It's like if Olave filled the 4th round, the focal point of my post would be like, look at these morons. Look at these morons! Yeah. Like I got Olave in the 4th round, but it's like they're not even highlighting it. They're just like, you may like my squad, Olave in the 4th round, and you're not getting Olave in the 4th round in a big boy league or draft. Like it's ridiculous. He's a 2nd rounder, and there's content creators out there creating content about Olave in the 4th round, which, like I said, almost makes you look incompetent that you don't know that he's not a 4th rounder. To be creating content around that and not even be the focal point of your post to be like, this is, Olave in the 4th round, but the highlight of it is my 1st round pick. Like, if you got Olave in the 4th round, you'd be walking straight to the bank. To the bank. It's crazy. Look at this team that I got on. I got going. It's currently in the middle of, let's see, round 7 or whatever. I got Bijan with the 5 pick. I took Jalen Hurts with the 20. I usually wait for Burrow, but I wanted to go Hurts in this one. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, near the kind of middle to end of the 3rd round. It took him a wee bit early. I got Drake London as my 4th player, my 1st wide receiver, and got Kenneth Walker in the 5th round. 5th round at pick 53. So my RBs are Bijan, Gibbs, Walker. I've got Hurts and Drake London. I feel like I'm just playing chess right now.
No, that's a good team.
And I'm all about exploiting this over wide receiver drafting mentality that's on Underdog. Not that didn't probably win last year. I get it, but if you land your breakout wide receivers and you can come in and grab the guys that you like at wide receiver that can, give you this running back advantage. There, you could start 3 RBs. Like, why is everybody discrediting running backs in this best ball? 3 wide receivers.
I see people all the time, Smitty, doing like 7 wide receivers, and before they even pick up friggin' anything else. I'm like, geez, you guys are nuts. What do you got? You can only start 3 wide receivers. Why do you need 7 of them on your team or 9 of them on your team?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely in best ball, you definitely want 7 because of the 3 required in the bye weeks and all that. But yeah, to go like 10 deep, I would try 7 for sure.
Yeah.
But my whole point is, why draft 7 straight wide receivers, then come circling back and grabbing this crappy running back room, and you're just praying that one of them lands. Bijan, Gibbs, Walker. I can start 3 RBs and 3 wide receivers. Why are the RBs not? The RBs should be more valuable than the wide receivers in a sense, because if somebody starts doing what I'm doing and they start scooping up all 3 of their flex and their 2 mandatory running backs, they're gone. They're gone. They're out. They're dried up. And the only reason everyone keeps doing this is because everyone else keeps doing it, and I'm just taking advantage of it.
Every year there's a breakout too,
And in this particular draft, bro, I think I'm gonna land. It's all falling perfectly. George Pickens is still there. I'm up in 8 picks. Pickens is still there. Jahan Dotson is still there. I'm gonna get one of those guys to add to this Drake London solo show I've got going on at wide receiver.
Yeah, Dotson's somebody I love too, but I couldn't get him. I couldn't get him on this one here. I wanted to, and he went a couple of picks before mine. But overall, I was very happy with the first 6 picks. I mean, I think getting, Herbert, I got him in the 5th round. I don't think that's horrible.
Here's my other team. This one's very similar, and I love this team too. I don't have the quarterback that I want, but I'm gonna get like an Aaron Rodgers. I'll be fine. This one's going the same route on Underdog Fantasy, guys. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I'll drop the link in the live chat right now. Here's the link. Go get it. Also, there's the link to the chat. Also, make sure you get signed up before we do the drafting, and we draft. We may do a draft tonight. Tonight's Panic Chamber at midnight, but we usually try and do something at the end of the draft. But make sure you're signed up and ready to go. But here's the other team that I'm assembling. That's very, very similar. It just doesn't have the quarterback. Where did that go? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's
you can't go wrong with Aaron Rodgers though.
Yeah, so here's
if you can get Aaron Rodgers in the late pick, you can't go wrong with her.
Here's the other team. So this is without the quarterback. So this is doing the exact same thing. I have the exact same running backs, but instead of Jalen Hurts, I have the Olave. So Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, Olave, London. Look at that team. Bijan, Gibbs, Walker. I'll get Charbonnet. Olave, and London.
Yep.
You throw an Aaron Rodgers in there, throw Jordan Love in there, throw whatever. Like this team right here, to the moon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bijan and Gibbs is pretty... If you can get Bijan, it's easy to get Gibbs, too.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I love both. These are my 2 favorite underdog teams so far. And both of them have this exact same running back stable.
These are slow drafts?
These are both slow Poodle 2s. So the prize money on the Poodle 2s is what is it? It's $60,000 to first place. So these are both in the $60,000 for first place contest. I mean, this is good. Who doesn't like these 2 teams? Which one do you guys like better? Do you guys like the Jalen Hurts team, and I'm going to get a Dotson or a Pickens as my wide receiver 2? Or do you like the Aaron Rodgers, probably Aaron Rodgers-led team with the 3 RBs that are the same, but getting that Olave wide receiver 1 action in there? Which one do you guys like better? Those are phenomenal.
Well, you can't argue with Jalen Hurts, right? I mean, how can you argue with him?
Yeah, you can't. But yeah,
but I mean, yeah. I mean, are you even taking Carr in late rounds with Olave or no? Try to have that hook up or no? Not really.
For what, Carr? Sometimes, yeah. In best ball, like as your second quarterback, sure.
Yeah.
Shamrock says the Hurts team. Travis is the Hurts team.
Yeah, you know what I've been noticing? The problem is, like, it seems like everybody I'm going for is either off on a bye week 7 or bye week 11. Have you been noticing that a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams there, but it's good to have all your buys in 1 week in a sense, because then you just you don't
one bad week, right?
Yeah, instead of bleeding out the entire season.
Yeah, that's good. All right, somebody, I wanted to call in and give you the rest of that
all right,
the team, and look forward to getting my Marsman card in the mail pretty soon here.
Yep, appreciate you, Marsman, Russian Collusion. Marsman, this guy's a Marsman. He jumped straight to the front of the line. There are 11 people that have these, that have that access. So, Collusion, appreciate you, man. Later,
right,
pal.
Have a good one. Thanks. Yep.
All right, I have the Instagram messages to get through, and these will start kicking into gear. If anybody wants to become an Instagram message leaver, here's Wayne Solo, Marsman Wayne Solo. Marsman Wayne Solo, you're live, pal.
Yo, what's up, Smitty?
What's up, pal?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't know why people are drafting so many receivers early and not going after running back. I know you've had some people call in about people waiting on RB, going 0 RB, but I don't think it's the way, man.
I mean, it can be the way. I like. There's so many ways to win. Like my wolf pack here. Hold on, let me play this real quick. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London, and Christian Watson. This is the quad squad, the burn unit, the wolf pack, the 4 amigos. I give you the 4
best friends
that anybody could have. So the wolf pack is definitely a way to win. So I don't want to discredit Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London. Sorry. I don't want to discredit the approach of going no running back either, because like that's a great approach as well if you land it. I don't want to make people think I don't love all those different styles, but what I'm saying is people have this hard nose cemented in mentality that you're gonna lose if you don't draft wide receivers, and you will if you don't land wide receivers, is what they should tell you. I'm not saying to go 0 wide receiver in a best ball 3 wide receiver requirement type of format. I'm saying that when you are in a situation like this right here, where you have just Drake London on this far right team, but you have 3 running backs that you're starting, Bijan, Gibbs, and Walker are all in your starting lineup, and the other teams are not going to have the running back stable I have. The other teams will not have the quarterback stable I have, because I'm going to draft an Aaron Rodgers on top of that. And yeah, my weakness may be wide receiver 2 and 3. And maybe you don't like Drake London, then replace him with another player you like. Just use the process, not the exact player. But I feel like that this approach, either one of these approaches, especially if you want to go early quarterback and you're uncomfortable with it, then go with the later quarterback version of it, because then you at least get the 2 wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? So like Marsman Wayne Solo, who's on the phone, if you want to go heavy wide receiver and heavy running back, just avoid your early quarterback, and then your problem solved. Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, Olave, London. I love that squad. I think that squad's fire.
Yeah, I got a team where I went Eckler, Stevenson, Najee Harris, and then I still was able to get Herbert at quarterback. I got London, Deontay Johnson, and Jahan Dotson at receiver. So, and I got Mingo and Chase Brown later, at running back. There's some receivers like round 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 that, they could end up contributing to like somebody's team that I think a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. I have a Wolfpack team I was going to show as well. Let me see if I can pull that up. These are the Poodle 2s. Let's see here. Oh, here's the Wolfpack team. So Wolfpack approach would be, let's see here. Oh, so here's a version of it that I think it's not the best executed version of it, but it's definitely one that I want to pull up and just look at real briefly. Like this is one you can do better than this, but this is one of them. So Joe Burrow, I diverted from I Garrett Wilson, Olave, Christian Watson. So those are my first 3 picks. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Christian Watson. I went wide receiver, which is right here the Wolfpack, essentially the beginnings of it without the Drake London. I diverted into, instead of going Drake London here as the 4th wide receiver, which you start 3 wide receivers and a flex, and you're going to use that wide receiver as your flex, I decided to grab Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow and Garrett Wilson, Olave, Watson, and what does my running back stable look like? Swift, J.K., Alvin Kamara, Charbonnet. I feel pretty good about this team. This is a very good deployed wide receiver team. And so you can win 100 different ways. My whole beef is with people that say, you got to draft 3 wide receivers immediately or you can't win best ball. The data says so. Yeah, maybe somebody won doing it. Maybe there are a lot of good stories about it. But those people are everybody. You're fighting against yourself. You're fighting against yourself. I hate when people say that you can't win doing the heavier running back approach just because someone else didn't do it right. You're battling against yourself. Are you going to be the guy that predicts the wide receivers, the later wide receiver breakouts, or are you not? Because if you know how to draft RBs and quarterbacks, and you got the tight end position on lock, you got your number one wide receiver on lock, and you go a little lighter at your wide receiver 2, 3, 4, 5, but you know what you're doing, then you can be an absolute monster. And you can dominate, and you can defy all the odds people say you've got to defy because you're not loaded on wide receivers only. It's a ridiculous stance. It's very lazy. It's very lazy to say you have to have 3 wide receivers, or your first 2 out of your first 3 picks have to be wide receivers to win a best ball draft. It's very lazy. It's very lazy, and it's not using any kind of creativity or banking on your ability to land the wide receiver breakouts that will help you smash your team. Because if I go with these teams right here, and I'm running back heavy, and let's say especially this Jalen Hurts team, Jalen Hurts, Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, London, I believe in myself to get a Dotson. I believe in myself to still land a Pickens. I believe in myself to grab a wide receiver 2 and 3 that's going to surprise everybody. And I'm going to get Dotson and Pickens, or Dotson and somebody else with this Jalen Hurts team. And if I add Dotson to that wide receiver stable, and I get this guy to come in and be my monster breakout wide receiver 2, Dotson, I'm going to the moon with this team if Bijan, Gibbs, and Walker land. I just think people are way too set on their ways because of what maybe happened in the past. Guess what? The record's made to be broken. The past was not always repeated. You know, you can pave your own way. Stop listening to everybody that says you got to do something a certain way. You could win 1,000, 100 million different ways. What's up? What else you got? Last thing, Wayne, and then I got to jump.
I just think for people that say they're not sold on Drake London, the guy had 2 less targets than Olave last year. He actually had more targets than Waddle. He's a 29% target share, and he's over 30% target share in the red zone, and he's got no competition at receiver. So I don't really understand people that say they're not sold on Drake London.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the best quarterback, but, you know, he's got no competition, and he's going to be the guy that's getting all the volume.
Yep. Hang tight. Frankie Knuckles, you're live on the show. What's up, Frankie? You're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What up?
I just got done drafting a best ball. I wanted to throw it at you, see what you thought about it.
All right, hit me with it. Quickly, if you can.
All right. Okay, Fields, Oman Ra, DJ Moore, Jackson Smith, Najigba, Jonathan Taylor, Tony Pollard, Goddard, Rashad White, Dotson, Gibson, Michael Thomas, Zach Charbonnet, Roschon Johnson, Sam Laporta, Mingo, McKinnon, and Jerome Ford.
Nice. I like it. Good team. Well-rounded team. I like it. I love the RBs. If they get going, you'll be set.
Thanks. You like JT? What do you? I'm seeing an injury here already.
I like him. I just, I'm a little worried about vulturing Anthony Richardson, vulturing touchdowns, and then the fact that we haven't seen him really bounce back yet. And we saw him bounce back, then he got hurt again, though. So I'm a little skeptical, but I will say, could he be the number 1 running back in fantasy football? Sure. Could he? Sure. Will he be? I don't think so, but could he be? I think people that say he can't, I mean, they're one year removed from him being like the number 1 overall running back. So I don't think he's a bad value in the 12-13 turn, which is where he typically kind of goes, like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a pretty good place to get him.
And Jackson Smith-Njigba, you like him?
I do, but like Addison, he's kind of capped a little bit. Not to mention he's in a much lesser passing attack. So he's got 3 wide receivers there, 2 of which are very cemented into their roles. Lockett's very cemented into his role, even though I do feel like he could be the one to get kind of bumped aside a little bit. But, I mean, to expect JSN to produce like high-end wide receiver 2 numbers, that's a really, really tall order, given that Geno Smith is the commander-in-chief there under center, and they're going to run a lot. And so I'm not super amped about JSN as a wide receiver 2, but in a build like yours, it seemed like pretty fitting. It was pretty decent. So I don't mind.
Yeah, I got him as my 3rd wide receiver.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I like him as my 3rd until he unseats one of those guys. That's where I'd be drafting him.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Nice team. All right, anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. See you tonight. I'll be live doing Panic Chamber. Anything else,
right.
Wayne Solo? Final thoughts, Wayne Solo? 10 seconds?
Like I said, Drake London, I wouldn't want him my number 1 receiver. Number 2 is fine. Like, I think, you got him with Olave there. That's good. But he's not a bad pick. And it's not like you're drafting him in round 2 or 3. So
I like him.
I
like him. I think
I like him too.
I think he's got a wide receiver. He's definitely got wide receiver 1 upside to me. I know a lot of people want to wait and see. A lot of people are worried about Ritter. A lot of people are worried about a lot of things. But Drake London was on pace for 1,300 plus yards under the command of Ritter, at least in the final 6 weeks and in the 5 weeks that Ritter was in there. But the final 6 weeks, he was on pace for about 1,400 yards. And I think London's going to be spectacular. I think he's going to have a great year. He's got an elite skill set, hardworking kid. The Atlanta Falcons are very undervalued, underrated, being discredited, being written off by everybody. This team beat the Niners last year. This team had a lot of close games. Every loss was pretty much a very, very, very close battle. They've added they have 2 pieces they didn't have last year, and they didn't have Kyle Pitts at all last year because even when he was on the team, they didn't use him. And Mariota didn't throw to him. So Kyle Pitts and Bijan are like adding 2 giant missiles to this offense. And people are just assuming it's the same as last year. It's the same offense as last year, Smitty. It's not. It's not even close. It's unrecognizable. And they did really well last year considering. They ran the ball better than anybody but the Eagles. And the Eagles had a 900-yard quarterback, that was trying to also change that. All right, I got to go. Appreciate you, Wayne Solo. See you tonight, pal.
Yeah, we'll catch you tonight.
Later. Very blessed indeed. You have 20 seconds.
Well, I was just going to remind you, you never went and did the voice clips. You were
I'm going to do that now, but everybody keeps calling.
Came in.
Yeah, everybody keeps calling, so I'm trying to get through it. But appreciate you. And any other things? Final thoughts. 10 seconds. Go.
Well, I just sent you a lineup showing because I always send you lineups with 3 doing the elite running back. I gave you one with where I did the wide receiver elite, and I just wanted you to see it so you can kind of go over it with everyone in the live. I sent it on Instagram.
Let me see. Let me pull it up here. So yours. Let me play the voicemail. For those that don't know, I have a voicemail group, The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. Go to Instagram. It's in the links in the description. The Fantasy Football Show on my profile. Click subscribe for $4.99, mere half cup of coffee. That's like a chocolate croissant. That's the cost of a chocolate croissant. Hit subscribe for $4.99. You can leave me daily voicemails in this voicemail group. Here's Adam's voicemail right here.
Smitty, can you go over some sleepers that you like from like rounds 16 through 18? Maybe no one's talking about.
Yeah, 16 through 18. And you wanted me to look at this team as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And this team has Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love, Desmond Ridder, Jimmy Garoppolo. The quarterback room's light. I love Jordan Love as a quarterback too. Anthony Richardson could be the real deal, and then you'd be okay. Like this, they got to surprise a little bit, but it's capable. Love and Richardson together are capable. Don't like Jimmy G, but I understand. Okay, Alexander Madison.
Read the note. No, read the note. Read note below the thing.
Smitty, I got screwed on my last 3 picks because my phone lost service. We'll go over that on the live. Please know that I didn't draft Jimmy G. It was an auto pick. Okay. Yeah, that sucks when that happens. I hate that. So your running back room is Alexander Madison, Charbonnet, Kendre Miller, Chase Brown. My concern with your running backs is that you only have I can't. They can't. Even, let me see if I can put this on my screen. Hold on. Yeah, you only have 4 RBs, and on top of that, they're questionable like playing time situations to jump off the season. So you don't really like have. You're putting yourself in a really, really bad spot with this team to what happens if these running backs are slow starting. What happens? It's going to be hard for you to win when you don't have any points coming from the running back room. So let's say Charbonnet doesn't start off like amazing. Let's say he doesn't even play much in week 1, which is very possible. Everybody assuming he's just going to be this monster right away. People might be buying low or trying to buy Walker high after week 1. If Charbonnet, let's say Charbonnet gets banged up and he doesn't even play week 1 at all, and let's say he's not even active really, or he in week 2 he doesn't really do anything. If Walker starts tearing it up, people are going to be like, crap, we really miscalculated this. So in Madison, we don't know if Madison's the starter. Should be. They put him on the masthead of the Twitter account, so you assume they're going to use him, but we don't really know how that's going to shake out. Kendre Miller may not be used early. Chase Brown may not be used early, so you could be screwed at running back, especially when you hit bye weeks and you don't have these guys. You got to have more. If you're going to go this light at running back in terms of like guarantees, you've got to have more of them. So that might have just done you in there.
Yeah, well, that's where I got screwed on with my phone losing service, because it drafted 2 more quarterbacks and a tight end, which those were all I would have drafted 3 running backs there. That's why I was saying I got screwed on those last 3 picks.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go the wide receivers.
What happened was I was door dashing and I had to go out in the country, and it made me lose my signal.
Okay.
In the middle of the draft.
Let's take a look at this. And then Russian Collusion dropped a super chat, says he wants to know about the Kincaid news. So we'll get to that in a second. It's not bad news. It's just there's the coach speak about they don't know what his role is going to be. I'll get to the Kincaid stuff in 1 second. So you went Wolfpack on this one. You went straight Wolfpack. You got the exact Wolfpack. Let me show the Wolfpack again. Hold on. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London, and Christian Watson. This is the quad squad, the burn unit, the Wolfpack, the 4 amigos. I give you the 4 best friends that anybody could have. So you straight got the Wolfpack. There's the Wolfpack right there. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Watson, London. You like straight got all 4 of them. Then you got Pickens. Then you got Dotson. Really, really good. And your tight end room's okay. I like it. Hayden Hurst, Laporta, Kincaid. Some things have to happen there. It's a little risky to go both rookies, and then I don't know what Hurst. Hurst is pretty safe, I guess, to add to that. So it's pretty good tight end room. Amazing wide receiver room. No one's got better wide receivers in your league, I'd assume. That's a really good. But the problem is, your running backs make you lose because you don't have a guaranteed player each week. So I know you timed out, so it's not your fault. But definitely, no Jimmy G. That would have been an RB I would have used. Alec Pierce, I wouldn't use Alec Pierce because you don't need him given the strength of your wide receivers. A lot of times you got to go 7 because you don't really even know if you're going to get action out of one of them. You got such good wide receivers. You literally could stop at Dotson and use Pierce and Jimmy G to get that extra RB in there, like a Deuce Vaughn potentially would have been exciting. McKinnon, McKinnon could have been amazing for you.
There.
McKinnon could have been amazing for you. That would have been good. But I mean, really good team. I love the Wolfpack. I'd almost say though that when you got Garrett Wilson, Olave, Christian Watson in London, the Dotson Pickens is overkill for me. I'd rather use one of those or both of those on RBs, because if you can go then and get the RBs to support this strategy fully, you can really crush it. So if I were you, I would probably try and not go as heavy at wide receiver and get some RBs in there. You don't necessarily need Pickens and Dotson with these 4 wide receivers. Or instead of Drake London, you get an RB and you have Pickens and Dotson. You know?
Yeah,
so,
usually my strategy is to get the 3 elite running backs and then try to get like London and Watson or London and Pickens, Dotson. Like I kind of usually I have a completely different strategy. I just tried something new this time because I was like, I wonder if I can get these like certain wide receivers and get some good running backs with it. And I thought it would have worked if I wouldn't have lost signal because I had some other running backs that I liked. And Pierce was the only person that was queued, so the reason he got picked there is because he was queued, and he was the only one I had at the time.
It's a good team, but I don't know that the running backs will take it the distance. So try it again and just run it back, getting another RB. Hey Adam, I gotta run. Appreciate you, man. I got Matt Biaggi on the phone. I gotta bump him off here in a second. So Adam, call in tonight. Appreciate you, man.
Well, you guys have a good one.
Thanks for leaving a voicemail. All right, Matt Biaggi, 20 seconds, bro, and then I gotta bail.
Hey, just from what you were talking about with Adam, can't you set the limits when you go in there? So if he auto drafts, if he puts the set limits on positions, he wouldn't have drafted 4 quarterbacks. I just figured I'd throw that out for him.
Where do you do that?
When you go in to do your NFL rankings, you hit the 3 lines and you go into that. You go to NFL, you go to the season, and then you can look. I think you scroll over to
limits,
and it'll say position limits.
Yeah, and you're doing that for all your drafts though?
I mean, it's something you can put in there. I mean, there are certain structures I like in best ball that, I mean, I'm always there, but if something got disconnected, I don't want 4 quarterbacks on my team.
Yeah, that's a good point. And do you have to set your rankings though in order to do it, or can you just leave the rankings alone and do limits?
I just hit the first one and then leave it back, and then it's just whatever the 80, whatever underdogs ADP.
Okay,
is.
so that's a good note, guys. If you click on the top left, there's some three lines or whatever. You click on that, go to NFL, go to season, just keep cycling through the options for NFL, and then you get to players, rank, and then limits. And you can go in there and set a limit of 3 QBs and set a limit of you could go 2 tight ends just to make sure that you're not getting screwed on autos. Yeah, good point. Thank you for mentioning that, Matt Biaggi.
Love the show, Spinny.
All right, man. We'll see you tonight on the Panic Chamber.
Later.
As for the Kincaid news, Russian collusion, appreciate you dropping the super chat. This Kincaid news is not horrible news, but it is news that's got people DMing me left and right and saying, Smitty, what's going on with Kincaid? So Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey said that tight end Dalton Kincaid, on Dalton Kincaid, we're nowhere close to knowing what the big picture is going to be because Russian collusion, thank you for dropping that super. Because we have to learn him and he has to learn us. It's just a coach speak, he may start off slower than we all think. We're maybe putting the cart before the horse, let's be honest, because we're getting so excited about this kid's ability to play in the slot. If they get Hopkins, it changes the game a little bit, and then they maybe bring him along slower. If they don't get Hopkins, I think Kincaid, maybe he starts off slow. Maybe week 1, 2, he's not a monster, but he certainly could be an absolute gem by week 5 or 6. So be careful. Don't expect too much out of him in week 1 or 2. Draft appropriately. Have backups. Laporta might even do better in week 1 or 2. We don't really know what we just hear from the offensive coordinator. He doesn't know either. He's got to learn the system. So we got to pump the brakes a little bit. But yeah, this isn't a negative. It's just honest coach speak. A mixture of coach speak and honesty about look, he's a rookie. We don't know what his role is going to be, nor do we want to tell you. That's the coach speak part where it's we're going to tell you exactly what we're going to do with him. So he's just basically, dodging the question. Russian says, once you do it, it is set until you change it again. Thank you, Russian. Appreciate you. So set those limits. That's a really, really good point. That would have really saved maybe not saved Adam's team because it would have auto, if he didn't have a ranking, it would have auto picked somebody horrible. I don't like to mess with the rankings too much because I like to know where the ADP is. So it's a tough happy medium of using your rank and having your rank control everything, or going into it and saying, okay, this is what everybody else is thinking. So, all right, guys, appreciate every single one of you. I think that does it for all the news. I will see you tonight for the Panic Chamber. Deuces. Appreciate all your super chats. Appreciate all your celebrations of, let's see here. We've got super chats. We've got all the celebrations of YouTube memberships. Collusion dropping a $2 hauler. Appreciate that. Collusion dropping another $2 hauler. Appreciate that. Chris dropping a $5. Young dropping a $4.99. Matt dropping a $1.99. Melvin dropping a $1.99. Appreciate that. Collusion dropping the 20 wad. One more standing ovation. You, Collusion, have been Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Smitty approved, Collusion. You've done it. Jacob, $10 hauler. Moonshot.
To the moon.
Just straight baller. Dropping a $10 hauler. Jeffrey, $2 hauler. Hogan, appreciate the $2. Jack, appreciate the $2. Salty, appreciate the $10. Jack.
To the moon.
Moonman Jack. And then Thomas dropping the 2 wad. Appreciate every single one of you. I am literally here because of you. I'm here because of you. I wouldn't be here without you. And I appreciate you. You are the show. I work for you. I'll see you all tonight for the Panic Chamber. And don't forget to check out my boys' Grindhouse. Grindhouse is the place to be. Grindhouse.com. GRNDHAUS. The link is in the live chat. I'm sorry, the link is in the description, and I'm about to drop the link in the live chat. Visit grindhouse.com. Get your hoodie action on. These hoodies are phenomenal. If you like movies, if you like hoodies, if you like apparel, this is a quality product. I wear it during my graveyard streams. I'll be sporting one of these bad boys, a shirt. I usually wear the shirt. It's really comfortable. I love the shirt. I'll be sporting that during the Panic Chamber tonight. Ron Navy dropping a wad on screen. Go visit grindhouse.com. Grindhouse Panic Chamber will be tonight.
You are entering the Panic Chamber, brought to you by Grindhouse. Vintage movie tees and hoodies.
Who's going to be on the Panic Chamber tonight? Ron Navy dropping a 20 watt on screen. Ron wants to make the office dirty. I partly think that's why Ron does it. I think he wants to make the floor just as messy as possible.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron Navy. Appreciate you. I didn't even know Ron was there. He's just hiding in the shadows today. Just like a ninja, just hiding in the corner. You think Ron's not there, and then boom, Ron strikes you like a snake and drops a $20 hauler right on screen. He's always good at the end, too. He knows how to do it. He just slips right in there. Graveyard Panic Chamber coming at you later. And on that note,
the tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting either Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts with one of Hall, Gibbs or Bijan, and one of Olavi, Watson, Wilson, or Chase.
Got him.
see you all tonight. Panic Chamber, baby. Panic Chamber Adams. I mean, he'll definitely. I mean, we're gonna do maybe 2 or 3 players a night, so we don't go through the whole entire league as we're in the off season here. But yeah, I mean, we'll throw them in real quickly. The Raiders, the whole Raiders team. We'll just toss it in the Panic Chamber tonight briefly, but we'll move on to other players as well. I will see you all. I will see you all for the Panic Chamber tonight. roughly midnight Eastern every Tuesday. Deuces. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.